right, guys. This is the 10th episode of Music, the Universal Language Podcast. Let's welcome to the podcast Cody Hall. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Thanks for being on. Like I was saying, I've only really met you once, but I've kind of followed the band for a while. And, I think your wife kind of booked me for the show. I was coming into town, and then I talked to you briefly right before I started.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. And that's kind of like your local area? You guys live in LaFayette?
Yeah, Rachel and I have lived here since, I guess, in 2005. But I moved here, and I think it was 99 originally, and then kind of moved away a bunch and came back.
Right on.
Yeah.
Seemed like it had a pretty good music scene, kind of.
It definitely does. It's in a interesting place right now because, like, I don't know when it started, but it's pretty much as long as I've been playing, like, nobody in this town will pay a cover for anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so, like, only places that really succeed or have, I guess, in the last probably 15 years or so, have been places that just do, like, no cover shows.
Kind of like depend on you to bring your own crowd out to just get drinks and then get a guarantee or something?
Yeah, they'll do a guarantee. There was a place that was doing pretty, like a brewing company. They had a great room, and they would do shows like every once in a while, but it would never get packed in there. Like, people would always scoff at like a $5 or $10 cover, you know. But there's a couple places. There's a couple places that are starting to do covers again, and they're actually, people are willing to pay for them. So I don't know what it was, but it was like a 15-year period where it just like couldn't get a good venue. But there's always bands, and everyone was always really like passionate about the local scene, but not enough to pay $5.
Like, they just want it in the corner at the bar they're already at or something. Just like,
yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess I do a lot of shows like that. It's rare that I do shows for a cover, but it's a different crowd when you have a show for a cover that's like your people. You know what I mean? Like, if they are willing to pay to see you, then it's like you'd hope it's, you know, that's going to be like everyone you know, or people really are fans of your music, what have you. So
right, yeah. And I think as like for a touring band, you kind of like, you don't scoff at those gigs because it's like you want the guarantee,
right?
And you want as many people in the room as possible to see you because you probably never played there, or you've only played there once or twice before, and so you don't have a huge built-in crowd.
Right.
And so you're like, the cover's going to turn them away. But when it's like local bands and stuff, it's like, you know, like you should be able to draw a crowd if you've been playing in the same town for 10 years or whatever, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. But then if you do it too often, it's like, oh, well, we could see them any weekend for the next whatever. But yeah, I mean, I find just like, you know, being that I do a one-man band thing, it almost like gives me the opportunity to play at places that normally only book like cover band sort of things.
Okay.
So they like almost give me an exception because it's like I mean, I do a good amount of covers, but never like a full set. Yeah. So like those can be pretty good guarantees. But again, it's like, I mean, I guess you always have, you know, the opportunity to perform for people who never see you. Right. But it's not necessarily people who are like looking for original music per se. But you know, I don't know. You got to hustle either way, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Let's go back, man. Let's go. How the hell you get into music? When this all start, man?
I don't. You know.
Can you remember?
Yeah, I grew up with, you know, music in the house, like on the radio and everything, but not in a musical family. So, I kind of had to seek it out on my own. Like, my family was super into sports and athletics and whatever, and so. I remember being like 13 or 14, and I had a friend that played drums, and I was like, man, I really want to play drums. And I had to like fight my parents to like let me play an instrument.
Wow.
And my dad ended up giving me this like the Walmart Mark II drum set or whatever. Nice. And I took lessons. And then my brother threw this house party, and like everybody just destroyed my drum set. And
damn. So how long did you have them? Like a year? Not even?
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably like 6 months or something like that.
Like this drum set looks like a good thing to destroy. I mean, right?
Yeah. But then I got a job, and so I like slowly started piecing it back together, like buying a cymbal here, a drum head there, and that kind of thing.
Right on.
And then I just kind of stuck with it, but I was terrible for a long time, and like I couldn't find people to play with, so I had to like really
just keep practicing. Or?
Yeah, I just had to work on it forever. But I wanted it so bad, so it was like I just wanted.
Determined, dedicated. Yeah. Well, so where did you originally grow up? In Indiana, or?
I grew up in the northwest suburbs of Chicago.
Ah, which north? Dude, I'm from Beloit. That's like super close.
Okay, yeah. So I spent. My dad lived in Cary, and my mom lived in Algonquin. She worked. Like we kind of lived in that area. I think we lived in Palatine for a little bit.
Yeah, that's not far away at all. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So then you moved to Indiana. You said 99, or?
Yeah, I moved to Indiana. I was born in Texas, then moved to Illinois, and then moved to Indiana, and then moved to North Carolina, and then back to Illinois, and then back to Indiana, and then I traveled for like a little over a year on the West Coast and Southwest. And
so multiple homes.
Yeah, and then came back here.
What part of North Carolina?
Shelby. It's like halfway between Charlotte and Asheville.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, I think I've probably driven through there. That's like near Raleigh? No, north of Raleigh?
No.
Raleigh's further. I can't remember.
Yeah, if you've ever driven from Asheville to Charlotte, you've gone through Shelby. There's like the highway you take, US 74 goes right through Shelby, and it's not worth noting here. I don't know.
I'd go like Asheville to Greenville or to Knoxville, the other direction. Yeah. But kind of bounce around the mountains, but that's cool.
Earl Scruggs, I think is. I'm gonna look that up. I don't want to misquote it because it's been so long since I thought about that. But it's like
Shelby.
Either Earl Scruggs is from Shelby or Lester Flats. I remember. Yeah, Earl Scruggs. I had that right. Cool.
That's cool.
Like, that's their little claim to fame there.
Oh, they got like a sign with Earl.
Yeah.
That's cool. Right on. So when
have you ever seen that show Eastbound and Down, the Danny McBride?
Yeah. Not in a while, but yeah.
That's supposed to take place in Shelby.
Oh, okay. That kind of rings a bell. So it's that type of town, huh?
Yeah,
Sports. A lot of southern towns like that. Typical, but all right. So when did you get good enough on drums to start playing with people, or how old were you?
Well, if you ask me, I was probably 17 or so. But I don't know. I started really playing with other people when I was about 18.
Right on.
Just moved out on my own, and I lived with a couple of friends that played guitar, and we would jam all the time. And we had little party bands, play like 2 shows and then not play anymore, kind of thing.
What were you guys kind of jamming? What were you into?
I've always been into like a lot of stuff. I know people say that, but it's a thing.
Randomness, not stuck on a genre or like phases or what have you.
Right. Back then, though, we were playing like a lot of punk rock and metal, like sludge metal and stuff. Like I've always loved, as far as drums are concerned, like Dale Crover from the Melvins is probably one of my favorite drummers of all time. So I play a lot of stuff like that. But I was also really into jam bands back then, and so I always just try to like do like funk stuff and.
That's a good mix.
Jam rock, yeah.
Cool. So you guys just kind of did like house parties, or did you have
nothing serious. Just kind of just play and buy a bunch of beer and just play all night while everyone got drunk.
Hope people come over. Yeah, drink. Did you have a name or just house party band? Or?
We've had a few. I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to think of what they were, honestly, because it was like we had a couple incarnations that we would just play like 1 or 2 little parties and then never play again.
Right.
There was like. I remember one specific night we were like trying to do a bunch of AC/DC covers and we called ourselves Big Balls.
He's got big balls. Nice.
But yeah, that was the
classic.
That was the early stuff.
So eventually you got into guitar?
Yeah, so then I started traveling. Yeah, I started traveling in my cars, driving around the country and hitchhiking and doing all that stuff. And I couldn't really take a drum set with me, and I didn't have a djembe at the time. But I was like helping this guy move out in Washington, and he offered to give me his guitar that he didn't want anymore. So I picked that up and started learning it.
He didn't want it.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It was like, I think it was like he didn't play it, and he was just moving his stuff from like his apartment. He's getting kicked out into a storage unit or something
just
like that.
It was taking up space, and yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. All right, continue.
So I started teaching myself on that thing. While also just like whenever I'd run into somebody that played guitar, I'd be like, teach me a chord, you know, like.
Hell yeah.
And
you're still like early 20s ish?
I would have been 20 then. Yeah.
Young age, traveling. Damn.
Yeah.
Righteous. I guess I probably started around 21. So yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. And yeah, it stuck. I always wrote poetry like from as long as I can remember. And so the guitar really appealed to me because I was like a way to turn that into songs. And
you kind of be like getting inspired by the road and comes up with a story, a poem.
Yeah, something like
traveling sort of style. Or like where were you traveling? Was it kind of just like random direction or? Were you like going east towards North Carolina from Indiana, or is it like?
Well, when I first started off, we left Indiana and then went to Washington because I had a bunch of friends that were going to college out there.
Okay.
And I was just wanting to change the scenery, so went out to Olympia, Washington for a little while, and then went down the coast to Venice Beach, and
it's way down the coast.
Yeah, then we decided we were going to go to a rainbow gathering, so we went all the way to West Virginia. Well, I guess Florida, and then up to West Virginia. And then we always had like some concert we were trying to get to, or some park we were wanting to go to. Like a bunch of people I was hanging out with were really into gemstones and jewelry and stuff.
Right on.
And so I'd be like, hey, let's go try to dig some jade or fire agate somewhere or something like that. So we're just kind of trying to stay busy, just floating around.
Do the traveling lifestyle and get by how you can. And and so you guys like sleeping out of the car, finding a camp spot? Like what? I've done a lot of
little bit of that. Yeah, just sometimes in the car, sometimes at a campsite, sometimes in like an abandoned lot or whatever. Right. Just
Walmart parking lot.
Yeah.
Wherever, poach something.
Yeah, it's been a while. Like it's been a few weeks in I don't know what it was, but it was just like this little. What used to be a building had been knocked down, and it was like next to the train tracks in Tucson. And we ended up spending like a little over a month in a junkyard in southern Arizona. Junkyard.
Just like a abandoned junkyard, and they're like, yeah.
No, it was this. My buddy had a bus that he was trying to convert to an RV.
All right.
And we had heard about this guy that would like. For work trade, like if you helped him like break down scrap metal, he would like let you have parts out of the junkyard.
No shit.
And so we took the bus there, and then we were basically demoed like 3 or 4 mobile homes that had been dragged there, and then separated like all the scrap into various metals and usable stuff and all that. And then we were able to take like some of what we salvaged and put it on the bus. And
that's cool, man. So it took like a month to get everything?
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty cool. That's like the stuff you do just to get by.
Yeah.
It's like it's cool moments though. Like when you get in those situations, it's like having to work, especially for trade like that. I don't know. It kind of gives you some self-worth or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was fun while we were doing it. It was kind of looking back, it's pretty surreal.
Right. The shit you do when you're young, right?
Yeah. I got a good song out of it, and I got a bunch of really good memories.
Hell yeah. So, how long, I guess, till you came back to Indiana. Were you just like going all over the country, or wherever the wind blows? And
it was about a year. We Rachel, I was traveling with Rachel at the time, and we both just kind of like had a few really intense experiences, and we're ready to just not be traveling. And I'd gotten some news that made me want to come home, and so we came back here and settled down. Yeah.
Right on. And then, is this when did you guys already start the band on the road, or?
Kind of. The idea for the band started because we were definitely trying to busk and all that stuff while we were out. But like, I mean, Rachel's a phenomenal singer and has been, but I was not really, at least with guitar there yet, to really be making any money.
Just trying to like catch up and do something on the road.
Yeah, we were trying, but I got the name of the band because we were actually in we weren't in Asheville, but we were somewhere near Asheville, North Carolina, and we had a sign that said "Traveling Broken Out of Gas," and the cops came and they were like, "You guys can't have that sign here." And I was like, "Why?" And he's like, "Well, it's requesting alms." And I was like, "What does that mean?" And he's like, "It means that you're specifically asking for like a favor with your sign, like you're saying like give me gas or whatever." And I was like, "Oh no, this is just the name of our band. Like, we're just advertising the name of our band." And he was like, and he like looked at me like, "Really?" And that's like when I got the idea for the band name.
Wait, so you got away with it, and then it stuck. That's awesome, man. Holy shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And,
I also didn't realize that was technically illegal, because how many people who fly signs are asking for a favor?
It's only in certain cities, I guess, and usually ones where they have a big problem with it, I guess.
Which Asheville, there's pretty big homeless population.
Yeah, and you can like, and I think when they have those cities, like you can just say like "I'm broke" or something like that. Like you can still fly a sign, but you can't like specifically request something. Which I don't know how traveling broken out of gas. I guess because you're saying gas, like give me gas or something.
Or even just out of gas, Because you see a lot of like broken hungry. I guess hungry is technically like asking for food.
I don't know.
That's awesome.
But I got a band name out of it, and so then when we settled down, I ran into a friend from high school, Pavel Abramov. It was like he had just graduated college, and he was like super pumped about the guitar stuff he just learned, and we formed a band, just the three of us, and it was way different than it is now.
The beginnings. So what year is this? Like when you came back? And
like 2005, I feel. Yeah.
And you're like 20.
2006.
How old are you? How old are you now?
I'm about to be 35.
Oh, shit. Me too. When's your birthday?
April 9th.
Oh, shit. Mine's March 7th, so coming up. Okay. So now that's a good reference. Now I fucking know. Okay, so 2006.
Yeah.
You're 21.
Uh-huh.
And then you guys are all three of you are living in Indiana, Lafayette?
Yeah, Rachel and I, we got a house. We're trying to start a little farm thing and living there. And we ran into our friend Pavel, and we were just kind of jamming, and eventually we just started writing songs, and we're like, hey, let's do this for real. And it was very punk rock, like,
Yeah.
We
like acoustic punk rock? Sort of?
Well, I mean, the music wasn't really punk, but just the effort. Like we weren't.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
We weren't like super tight or like ready to be performing, but we're gonna perform anyways.
Well, it's funny you got like the energy, or I don't even like a stage presence before you got the skills. Like I was a similar way, man. You're just so excited about doing it. You know what I mean? So did you guys start playing at bars, or did you kind of open mic?
Yeah, there was a coffee shop in town called the Skylight that had a pretty cool thing going on back then. They had a really successful open mic, and then they would do shows on the weekends, and people would come out to them for a coffee house show. They had a good crowd. They did a decent stage, and we played there. And there was a bar that I was working at that we played at, and a few coffee houses, a few bars, and slowly started getting more bar gigs and
Hell yeah.
other
And so you
types of
kind of
gigs.
was the coffee shop one of the main places you kept kind of like coming back to, honing your sound, kind of like slowly.
Yeah, for sure.
The crowd slowly kind of get to know you and like
Hmm.
sort of thing. Cool. Okay, so shit, you guys have been doing it for a while then. Same. Was all the same members? You three or no? Pop.
Yeah, so Pavel was with us for a while, but so then after, like, nearly immediately after we started the band, Rachel was working with this guy Dov, who's our bass player now, and she like gave him this little demo that we made, and he like fell in love with it. He's like, I want to play bass for you guys, and
Hell yeah.
like, okay. And so he's an amazing bass player, and he joined the band, and he's still it's. As far as the band core now, it's Rachel and Dov and I, and then our friend Max has been playing with us since 2013. He's got the same birthday as you. You said your birthday. His is also March 7th.
What? Crazy.
Yeah.
Max is his name?
Yeah, Max.
What's up, Max? Birthday brother.
Yeah. Yeah, so but Pavel left, I think it was like 2010, maybe, somewhere around there.
And
Maybe
he just
2009.
would do his own thing and
Yeah, he went back to school to get his like teaching degree or whatever. Yeah. And so he really, like, that's just real passion, is he wanted to be a math teacher. And so he went back to school, or he finished school for that, and then he got a job teaching math, and so then he left the band to do that.
Right on.
Because he was like in a different town. And,
so you guys like temporarily duo for a while, or?
Well, we were a trio then.
But when after he left, or?
No, I mean, so we were a quartet, and then Pavel left. We were a trio, and then we kind of brought in like there was like a 3 or 4 year period where we were juggling a lot of different band members trying to get somebody to stick before Max came along.
Okay. Right on. And then, so you guys did the local scene, maybe kind of regional, for a few years, and then eventually got back on the road, or?
Yeah.
You just always had that like itch to get back on the road sort of thing?
Yeah, we definitely did. And before Pavel left the band, even like we put out our first album or whatever, and we were like, we're going to do a national tour. And pretty sure this was like even MySpace days.
Oh, yeah.
It was definitely before I had Facebook. People were probably on Facebook, but not me. And I didn't have the internet, so I was like going to the library to send booking emails and cold calling or whatever. But I tried to book a tour from LaFayette to Olympia, Washington, and then down to San Francisco, and then back over.
Oh, shit. That's cool.
And
90 to 80?
Yeah, and I did book a few shows. I think it was like 8 shows or something. So I booked a few shows, a surprising number of shows for how little experience I had and like all that stuff.
Right.
But it was not like enough to be a feasible tour. It was just kind of like a vacation where we played some shows along the way.
A reason to travel and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of like had to like save up before you left to make sure. And you're like, traveling broke. I mean, if that happens, you guys know what to do, right? It's in your name.
Right.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So when did it become like the lifestyle again? Or was
it was, so we basically, we put out an album in 2013 that we were like, man, this is as good as it's going to get for us, and we're gonna go out there and make something of it. And so we got the bus. And
is this the River one in the album? I suck with names, sorry.
It's Till the Day's Return.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Why did I say River?
There's a song on there called Riverside Lullaby, but
that makes sense. Okay, so yeah, that's when you guys kind of, you thought yourself it was like the best so far.
Yeah.
You're like, we can do something real with this shit.
Yeah, for sure. And originally my son Thomas had he was 6 months at the time when we made that decision, and so we were like, well, if we're gonna do it, we have to get like a road nanny, and we have to get a it's like somewhere for Thomas to hang out. So that's why we got the bus. We started like accumulating these pieces.
Just yelling from the other room.
I know, he's
correct information.
I know. Well,
it's all part of the show, guys.
He was 6 months old.
He was 8 months old.
Go on.
In August?
He was 8 months old.
Sorry.
No worries.
So yeah, he was 6 months old when we decided to make, or when our album came out, we decided to get a bus and all that stuff.
Whoa. Okay, so your son was born in 2013, or
yeah. And but we were like, we can only do this if all these things fall in place. And we had a friend that had just moved back here from the West Coast and was like perfect for the gig and really wanted to like travel with us and take care of Thomas while we were on stage and all that stuff. And we're like, oh yeah, all the stars are aligning, let's do it. And
whoa, that's
so we went for it. And yeah.
And this is the bus, or not yet? Yes.
No, this was the bus. Yeah. So
you got you invested in the school bus.
Yeah.
And where'd you get the bus? What's the story of the bus?
The
long story. No.
So I've been on a few buses in my days, and the first bus that I was on was the one that went in the junkyard, and my buddy that had gotten that bus, like I just kind of remembered when we were talking about touring and all that stuff. I was like, well, you can get school buses for super cheap, and you can convert them and all that, because I've done that before. And so I found a website online. It's called like publicsurplus.gov or something like that.
Huh.
I think that I'm pretty sure public surplus. Either way, it's like eBay, but for government
buses. Oh,
well,
right
just on. Like all government surplus.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of it is school corporation stuff, and so you can find like used buses and work vans and all that kind of stuff for super cheap.
Hell yeah. It's good to know.
Yeah, so we got that bus. It was like $2,500.
Shit. Then you like turn the inside into a home sort of thing?
Yeah, we ripped out all the seats and insulated the walls, put it in like electric sockets, and
so you
built out bunks and put in a little kitchenette.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. And did you convert it biodiesel, you said, or just converted?
Yeah, to run on straight vegetable oil.
Really?
Yeah.
So then you line that up via the tour, like where you're going to get it? Or did you like talk to the bars, or how'd that work? I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah. Well, when we first we got the system installed and all that stuff, the plan was that we would just like talk to the bars we were playing and like go to like McDonald's or somewhere like that and just ask for their oil and then take it, right?
Right.
But,
most have contracts and shit. With,
it turned out to not be the way to do it for a lot of reasons. Like, first of all, apparently, like, so grease that's been sitting in grease dumpsters is like full of water, and which is really bad for engines.
Yeah.
You want dewatered oil. So if you spend a few hours or a lot of hours looking for a place that'll actually give it to you, it's probably going to be oil that you can't really use much of. And then you have to like figure out, well, how am I going to get it out of the dumpster and all that stuff. And so it's a huge time sink, really bad idea that way. But we found out that there's like basically, and I don't know, it's been a couple years since I've been in the game, but there's like this whole other economy online of people trading clean like oil for that purpose.
Really?
And depending on where you are in the country, like basically supply and demand, the price goes up and down. But in the Midwest and the South, it's usually like around 50 cents a gallon for for clean oil. And you get the same mileage that you would otherwise.
And like, where are you going to get it when you after you contact them?
Oh man! And so you're talking about crazy stories.
Wait a second. How do you search for this online? You're just like where to get dewatered.
We usually use like Craigslist or buy and sell trade stuff online, or places like that.
And like the stranger the city, the stranger the.
Well, yeah, it turns out that the people who collect and clean and then store and sell waste vegetable oil are pretty eccentric.
Okay, it takes a lot of effort to do it. So interesting folks.
Yeah, interesting folks. So we've had some of our weirder experiences traveling have been around that trade.
So wait, you just had to like figure out how to kind of reroute or what have you to meet up with these people, or a lot of them were on the way, or
so it really wasn't that hard logistically. It would get kind of scary if we could still run on diesel, but it was just like we got so used to it.
Yeah. Well, and then some places even have the biodiesel, but it's never like cheaper.
But But we got so used to the super cheap fuel and running veggie that we never wanted to. So we'd always get like freaky whenever we were like, oh man, we're going to run on diesel, So
gotta pay for that expensive shit.
Right.
What's a crazy eccentric oil guy?
But we had like 600 gallon. Wait, is that right? No.
That's big.
No, I'm wrong. Sorry, think about this. Right. We have 60 gallon storage capacity in our tank, and then we built an additional storage for, I think it was like 200 something gallons. And so we would usually try to find like 400 gallons of oil at a time, so that way we wouldn't have to do that very often, right? So like,
oh shit.
So like we would work out deals with places.
Transfer over when the one ran out, sort of thing.
Yeah, we would keep it in jugs so we could pour it. Like we built cabinets to keep these jugs and stuff, and so we could pour it into the tanks. So like we did have deals worked out with places here in town. So we would leave on tour. We'd have like a ridiculous amount of fuel with us. Like it would be in our way, like in the bus, just piled up everywhere. But we'd have like enough to get us from like here to, Denver or something.
Dude,
and then so then we would know that, and so then we would try to find it along the way, right? Mm-hmm. So we would never, and we eventually got pretty decent at it, and then there was a couple places that were like the contacts were good that we could like hit them up again or whatever, and not,
right. So,
but yeah, you said the weird story thing.
Yeah, give me one of them.
So the one that comes to my mind, and this may not be the weirdest one, but I don't know. The one that always comes to my mind first, though, we called the Vodka Twins, and it was these guys on the north side of Dallas in this very, 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 very well-to-do neighborhood, like just huge mansions everywhere, and they were like in this cul-de-sac at the end of this like huge, forever long lane of just mansions, right?
Oh shit!
And so we pull up, and one of the guys comes out, and he's stupid drunk, and it's like 9 a.m, right? And he's like, oh, you guys can't stay here long. My brother hates you, and he's like, he doesn't want you to make a mess, so we're gonna put this cardboard on the lawn to transfer the oil from the garage to the bus, right? So he's got the oil in jugs.
Yeah.
He wants to take them from his garage, set them on this like big cardboard tarp he's constructed, and then we're going to take them from that to the bus, right?
Okay.
And then he's like, I'm going to hop in my truck, follow me to my garage, you'll help me load it in my truck, and then we'll drive the truck down here, right? So we follow him up his driveway, And it's like one of those houses where there's like the garage. There's like a garage that's separate from the house, and the driveway goes between the garage and the house, and there's like a little parking pad back there, right?
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense or not, but
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And
parking.
So
cement block pad.
Yeah, and he's got he pulls out like a car jack and jacks up his garage door. Like his garage door is broken, so he's cranking it up with a car jack. And it's just in the garage is just full of trash. Like stuff's like spewing out as he's opening it. And he's like, "One of you guys are gonna have to come in here and help me get this out." And we're all like, "No, we're not going into your like broken garage dump thing. No, just hand it out and we'll put it in." You know what I mean? And so we load up his truck, and then he's like, "Oh fuck, we're gonna have to do this quick before my brother gets mad or something." And he jumps in his truck and then drives right into his garage and like smashes the truck, smashes the garage.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Did he get off? Did he hurt himself or?
No, it's like
just enough because he wasn't far away, so it was just like.
Right, yeah, but destroyed the truck, destroyed the garage. Like I said, 9:30 in the morning, dude's hammered, and he's like, so then he like backs up, goes back down the garage, gets down to there, and then he keeps talking about his fucking brother that's so mad at us, and like he's worried about getting a little bit of grease on his grass after he just smashed his garage up and stuff. So, anyways, we go through the whole thing. He like tries to raise the price on us at that point, and we're like, no, we have it in text messages, like what's what we agreed on. He's like, okay, whatever. And so then Dom, our bass player, and Graham, the guy that was our road nanny, ask if they can use the bathroom because we've been there a little while. And he's like, yeah, I guess, but just make it quick. And so I wasn't in there. This is like a game of telephone at this point, but they said that they went in there and there was nothing in the house except a pallet of vodka cases.
What?
In the living room. It's just like this like pallet.
No furniture.
Yeah, just vodka cases. And yeah, so that was
he had a bathroom though.
Yeah, stuff like that. That was like a typical or not really typical, but
look at Dallas, Texas. Holy shit.
Yeah.
and then you never met the brother.
No, I don't think so.
Brother's gonna kill me, man.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, so like what was the most common place where they'd get it? Like the oil, is that how would they have it themselves?
Well, because a lot of people will either most people that like the more normal side of people that do this also have veggie vehicles that run on veggie oil, right?
Right. Okay.
So they're getting it for themselves, and they're just selling the surplus. Because so they'll go like make a deal with a restaurant and be like, "Hey, I'll pick up your oil," because and that way they don't have to worry about it.
Right.
So, but when you do that, you have to take all of the oil, not just the oil that you want.
Oh, you gotta empty the tank, and then so do you know the process of eliminating the water? Is there like a filter? Or?
Yeah, so there's like a pre-filter thing that you can get, or like there's different ways you can do it. Some people boil it out. Some people use like a centrifuge.
Yeah, I suppose boiling would evaporate it, right? Yeah,
usually so the thing is you let it sit and settle for a long time so that all the water separates, and then you can like.
And then that's when it smells really good. Just let it sit in the hot Texas sun.
Yeah, right.
Naturally evaporate. Oh shit! So what was you remember like the mileage you'd get per gallon?
It was the same. It was about 10 miles a gallon. It's the same way you get on diesel.
Fuck yeah, dude. So shit, you guys were just like traveling around, cheap. 50 cents a gallon was kind of the average.
Yeah, I would say that
dollar at most sort of thing, or.
Yeah, on the West Coast, it seems like it was almost more expensive than diesel because there's like a lot. Like when we were in like the LA and San Francisco area,
right?
There was like it seems like everybody was using it probably, and they're using it more for like the social consciousness, like or the ecological, right? So they're willing to pay more for it.
And everything's taxed there anyway, especially in those areas.
And then also up like by Vermont and upstate New York and all that, it was more expensive. I imagine for similar reasons.
Yeah,
Also
up here
less
it's
of it.
right. There's less less demand. Yeah, I've seen a couple spots that are just like randomly on the side of the road, but
Yeah, but everywhere else it was like somewhere between. I would say between 25 cents and $1.
shit, man, that's awesome.
But yeah, like I said, we get it for free when we were in town, and so we would just we would hit the road. Like our first leg of tour would just be not having to pay for fuel. It's pretty great.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. So that would kind of just give you some freedom to like maybe take some days off or just be a little more comfortable, what have you.
Yeah.
And the whole time you're raising a kid.
Yeah.
So how consistently were you traveling, like on this leg or this bus?
Like I said, we would do like the first few tours that we did were like 2.5 months long. Mm-hmm. And then we would come back for a couple months and then go back out. And then we went down to like more of like a month at a time kind of things. So we'd go back out, or we'd go out, come back, go out, come back.
Kind of like travel less in the winter or go south for the winter, or?
Go south for the winter and then kind of go north in the summer.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, like Florida or Texas in the summer sucks. I mean, 100 and something. All right, cool. Well, shit. Hang on 1 second here. Okay. All right. So what? I guess we already talked about this shit, I suppose. What's like one of the biggest highlights of the band? You know, I remember I guess the Moonrunners is when I was already into you guys, but it was like, oh yeah, they're doing something awesome now, or like something bigger. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
What's your highlight, man? What do you think?
I don't know. There's so many for different reasons. I have a lot of different highlights, but I'd say like musically, and for me, it's just because of like the romanticism behind it. Was we played this gig at on Navy Pier with Mr. Blotto. I don't know if you've heard of that band, Mr. Blotto.
Yeah.
Okay. But they were like one of the bands that got me into music, and so I remember going and seeing them in high school and stuff, and just being totally blown away and being like, I want to play music like that. And
aren't they Chicago based?
Yeah.
I knew. Yeah, I remember them back in the day in the jam scene.
Yeah. And so we had this show on Navy Pier with them, and I was just like, just playing with them because of the history I'd had with that band, and then like on Navy Pier, like it was just a super cool thing for me. And I remember like sitting on the stage, like looking at the Chicago skyline, and like being like, man, this is what it's all about.
Oh yeah. Did you get to meet them or?
Yeah. We hung out and all that stuff. It's cool. But
right.
It was, there's lots of other cool stuff. But I remember that one specifically hitting me pretty hard and being like, this is pretty cool. Like,
yeah, you already have a connection like that. I mean, that's always kind of like a dream, anyone you can like be a part of that you once saw, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, you like manifest some shit because you probably were thinking about them way back in 21-ish, right?
Yeah.
And then when this happened in your late 20s?
Well, I first saw them when I was probably 16.
Oh, shit.
And then
I guess, you were right in that area.
Yeah, and then this happened when I was probably 32. Yeah, 16 years later.
Dude, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Full circle shit, man.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Yeah, any other
opening for Tommy Chong was pretty cool.
What? Where'd this happen?
Having Tommy Chong open for us, but
he did a little like comedy thing before you guys.
Yeah, we were supposed to play the Monroe. Was it the Monroe Street Fair or whatever? It's like the sister festival to the Ann Arbor Hash Bash. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the Hash Bash happens like on the college campus, and then this thing, I think it's called the Monroe Street Fair, happens like in the city, but like during the same day.
Okay.
Anyway, so we were supposed to play that, and we were supposed to play right before Tommy Chong.
Nice.
But it was like, and I don't want to say that it was unorganized, because I'm sure it was well organized. But there was I think way more people than they expected.
So shit gets conflicting or whatever.
It was crazy packed. One of the most one of the most packed situations like with people I've ever been in, like more so than like Mardi Gras in New Orleans kind of thing. Like it was intense. The amount of people there, and so like all the bands were having a hard time getting to the stage and all that stuff, and so everything was pushed back, and so we got bumped back so Tommy Chong could go on time, and so he ended up opening for us when we should open.
Oh no shit! So what do you do? Like 15 minutes or something? Or
yeah, he announced his candidacy for like the drug czar or whatever.
Oh, nice.
And then he did like a little comedy bit, and then he took some pictures and he walked off stage. Yeah, he probably did like 15, 20 minutes or something like that.
So was like that the main reason why there's so many people, or was there like another?
I think that was a big part of it. Yeah. I mean, I guess a lot of people go every year anyways, and I think this year is like the first year that they have recreational weed, so like it's probably gonna be massive. But they've been doing it since Sean Sinclair was busted, so like the 70s or whatever.
Oh shit!
It's a pretty big deal, and it normally is. But I think the fact that Tommy Chong was there made it a bigger deal than normally is. So.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that is. Yeah, Illinois is legal now, huh? Indiana kind of sucks, huh?
Yeah.
In that department.
Yeah, I love that.
Wisconsin's the same. You know, I'm originally from there. Vermont's legal, so it's pretty nice. But yeah, you know how that goes. Traveling broke, avoiding certain cops. No, I don't know. Making up names for your band. Yeah, you guys ever had any like sketchy police situation, or is that not allegedly worth talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly,
you know how those go.
Yeah, honestly, for as much like,
because you guys kind of like had the traveling look too. Besides a bus, like when you step out the car, you're kind of
right. As much as we had all of that going on, like as loud as we were, like visually, but we got messed with surprisingly few times by the cops. Like, we were pretty lucky. We did.
Was it sketchy states or just?
No, I don't know. Like, I can think of 3 times where we had like negative cop interactions, and only one of them ended up being actually like there was one time when we were in Socorro, New Mexico, somewhere in New Mexico, and we're like this little tiny town, and we're parked right in front of the bar we're playing at, which is like in their downtown square or whatever, and we were playing at the time, and somebody, I guess, that was smoking a cigarette outside the bar, like heard Thomas cry on the bus. He was like, I don't know. I guess he would have been like a year at that time, but they heard him cry for a second. But he was like being watched. There was somebody with him, right? But they just like called the cops because they heard a baby crying on this bus. And so like the cops
babies cry, man.
Yeah, so somebody came and was like, "Hey, you got to go." The cops are at your bus, and so you have to let him in. And the cop, he was super nice. He was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I told him, you know, like there's a nanny in there with the kid's sleeping, we're playing a show. And he's like, "Okay." He's like, "I believe you, but like I have to put my eyes on this baby because I was called for like child endangerment or whatever. Like I just have to see." And I was like, "Okay." And so he like came in. He had his flashlight on the ground until he got to Thomas, who was in his car seat. He like looked at Thomas and then was like, "Have a good night," and walked right off. Like he didn't look at anything else that he wasn't supposed to. Or anything. I mean, like he literally just came on there to be like, "The kid's fine," and then left. And so
it was like almost a second of, oh shit, he's got a flashlight.
I was like, why? I was like, I don't know, it was weird, but yeah, it was like that sticks out. But it's like because like it was so few times that we got messed with by the cops. So
well, that's cool, man. You guys are must have had some good juju out there going.
Yeah, it's just putting it out there.
Cool. Well, so how many albums do you guys have? 2 or 3? Or 18? No.
I
know you had a new one in the last couple of years, right?
Yeah, we have 4 studio albums.
Oh shit! All right.
But we put out a few other, like we did there's like technically our first demo that we recorded in our old bedroom. And then we recorded this album in our buddy's uncle's garage in New Jersey. But we never really did anything with those songs. And then we put out like a live compilation album also. So I guess technically 7 albums, but there's 4 studio albums.
Right on. And the most recent one, that's the Return one, right?
No,
shit, no, the Bastard Americana, that's right. Yeah. Which is kind of like also a cool description for your sound.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I like it. Yeah, you guys kind of almost have like a Waitsy thing going. Well, Waits is all over the place.
Yeah.
Devil Makes 3-ish. Almost like a Nick Cave thing.
Okay. Yeah,
Any of those influences?
Yeah. Definitely Tom Waits. That's actually how Rachel and I met, was talking about Tom Waits.
So any particular albums you love, or?
I honestly, like, I'm more into his piano stuff. Like, I will like Small Change and Blue Valentine and Nighthawks and Diner. Those are my favorites. But Rachel's, I think, likes more of his like Rain Dogs and and all that stuff. So, but I like most of all of his albums. I would say a lot. Like, there's some stuff that's just like I'll listen to it over other things, but it's, as far as like in the scale of Tom Waits, it's not my.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're a fan. You'll at least listen to everything. Then you have your person. I actually really got into. I think it was called like the early years, and it was just like acoustic, and his like voice is completely different. And
that was my favorite for a long time. I just learned that. So those were like, he was originally signed to Geffen Records.
Oh, okay. But it wasn't like working out.
That's right. And those were his demos that he was like, they were trying to like, what's the word I'm trying to, groom him or whatever, like the A&R, doing the A&R thing, to like turn him to be like a Bruce Springsteen type. And those songs were the ones that he was working on, but he didn't like what the record label was doing, and they didn't like the direction he wanted to go. So he got dropped, and then later they released those songs like against his will.
So those are under Geffen?
Yeah, that's my understanding.
Oh, shit. Well, it's cool that we get to hear them, but I guess they're kind of like...
they're some of my favorites, but yeah,
I know.
It's kind of weird that he's like, I don't like that, you know? I don't know.
Well, if you think of what he kind of turned into, I guess I could see that, but at the same time, he's so diverse. There's that one song, it's like, oh, fuck. The doctor says I'll be all right.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Fuck. I love that shit. Yes, because then what was his... It was his actual debut was like the Tom Waits sound, right? He was the low voice, piano.
Yeah.
Drunken Madness.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting. Well, shit. That's cool. Any other big influences or songwriting wise? Because kind of just what I hear.
Kind of run the gamut, really. Like I always say that Jeff Mangum from Mutual Milk Hotel is a huge influence of mine, because he's one of my favorite songwriters. I don't know that I write like him, but so it's like hard to say how he influences me. But like
Jeff Mangum. Mangum?
Yeah, I'll write it for you.
Yeah, I need to check that out. I'm not familiar. Mangum. Mango. What the fuck?
Yeah, Jeff Mangum and really like the early folk writer or folk singer scene, like Woody Guthrie and Lead Belly and all that stuff.
Love that stuff.
And Bob Dylan and
like Townes
Van Sant. Yeah, I didn't find Townes until much later. I was like 22 or 23 when I learned about Townes Van Sant. But
yeah,
I
was kind of the same way. I always kind of knew about the songs, but didn't really get into them that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's a fantastic writer for sure.
He's definitely got that traveling like undertones in the song. I mean, he lived a true gypsy lifestyle or traveling,
right?
For a while. Right on. Shit, man. What do you want to talk about? Well, all right, let's get into what you're most recently working on.
Okay.
You're telling me you're kind of so you're not the main writer for you guys write together as Traveling Broke? Or combined forces?
I've written most of the songs. Rachel's written some, and our bass player Dom has written some, but I've written most. Like if we play, I think we have like around 6 hours of material. We probably have like 4 hours rehearsed though, really. And an hour of that is covers, and then probably, I don't know, I've written 3 hours and 45 minutes of the other. You know what I mean? Like I've written most of it.
Right on.
But the way that I've written with that band is that I've always just like written a song, just like, this is how to play guitar, this is how the words go, and a lot of times Rachel will sing the songs. And I've been singing more in the last few years as I've been like trying to find my voice and all that stuff, but really like I feel like she should sing most of the stuff in the band, but I've been singing. So I've been trying to like write more for stuff that I want to sing for myself and really just like have control over, I guess, more of the sound. Whereas with the band, I've always just been like, this is a song, and then whatever they come up with is how the direction it goes. Like it's been very like egalitarian. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, you kind of start with the beginning and then it.
Yeah, let them help me write, arrange it, and all that stuff. And this new thing I've been doing is like I want to have a little bit more control, just to kind of experiment that way and like.
So is there like a difference in writing where you kind of like almost writing more traveling stuff for the band, or like style wise? Because you kind of like search for different songs for different angles in a sense. I don't know.
I'm starting to do that now. When I first decided to start doing my own thing, it was there probably wasn't much of a difference in the way I was writing, but now I'm like, I played enough gigs by myself and all that I kind of get what I should be writing for by myself versus what needs a full accompaniment. And so like, I guess I'm going like not anymore. I've been writing more like, I don't know, like nostalgic songs and stuff like that. Just more singer-songwriter stuff as opposed to like rock band, whatever.
So would you, I take it like solo, do you do like almost alternate versions of band songs?
I try not to.
Try not to? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Make an effort to do some, to really be different.
Yeah. If it's like a 3-hour gig, I'm going to play some songs from the band, but.
Right, exactly. Make an effort to not.
Yeah. If it's an hour or two, I'm going to try as hard as I can to not. So, because I do want it to be a different show, and yeah, even though I wrote the other songs, they would play somewhere else. So.
And you kind of got like just some demos going, or?
Yeah, just actually, I'm waiting on the master of this, my first like studio track that I did by myself. So. And
is this just you and guitar? Or you add a couple layers, or?
Yeah, I did guitar, and I had a different buddy play drums and a different buddy play bass, and then I had my friend from Texas play fiddle. She's tracks, and then I took it to the studio, and then we added some piano and some synth to it.
Shit, man.
Yeah.
Sounds like a different sound.
Yeah.
What do you think this style's more like, or is if
it's definitely got like a more of a poppy edge to it, like folk pop or something. But it's still like Americana-y, but it's just like more
a little more polished in the band, or kind of more more personal, more
personal, a little less arty, I'd say. Like the band kind of gets like, we just go wherever we want with it, like without I don't know. I'm trying to make like the songs more of the focus as opposed to the I don't know, the musician. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like the musicianship. So like even though there's a lot of layers, like the layers are pretty simple.
I totally get what you're saying, because it's like just appreciating the song as a whole, like as a song, that it doesn't even need like some killer solo or some like fancy. Is it like almost slower music? I guess you guys do all sorts of rhythms with the band, but I feel like you guys do a lot of that kind of like upbeat, folky, gypsy, bluegrassy thing. You know, just kind of more laid back, or
definitely more laid back, I'd say.
Cool. Right on. So when's anything gonna be released? Just under your name?
Yeah. So I've been performing under the name CoyoteBear.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, for myself. So that's what it's going to be released under. And my plan is to release a single every month from here on out.
Cool.
And I'm going to try, ideally, I can kind of, because I think that while I love concept albums, and that's pretty much all we've ever done with my band, with Traveling Broke, I feel like the album format's kind of dying for like, as far as like the people that are actually listening to music don't really listen to full albums, at least not as much as they used to.
Right.
So
you gotta really love him, or it's a certain type of fan who does, but yeah.
Right. So I'm, at least for my stuff, I'm probably just gonna do like solo releases, and we haven't really decided for the band if we're gonna do that or not. There's a project that I've been like kind of putting off for years with the band. It's like a folk opera.
Okay.
I've written about half the songs, and I keep putting off writing the other ones. I don't know if it's out of just the desire to procrastinate or what, but I keep either way. So I keep saying that's going to be the next thing the band does, but who knows?
Maybe it's just kind of like it takes the longest because it'll just, I don't know, naturally get better over time, sort of thing.
Yeah, maybe.
When it finally comes out, you're like,
yeah, I don't want to force.
When I get this done, it'll be the best. God damn it.
Right.
Well, right on. So you definitely still plan on doing both, even though you're, still doing the Coyote more at the moment.
Yeah, I think for sure. I'm definitely still planning on doing both, and I'm doing more of the CoyoteBear thing now. Mostly, I'd say over any other reason, it's just because it's easier for me to just like. I mean, you're in a one-man band thing. Like, it's just so much easier to just to control how you are versus wrangle all the other personalities and time management and all that stuff. It's like,
I mean, it's an awesome thing when it works as a group, but with the consistency of little things not working, it can get to you. And you're like, well, I could be doing this by myself, and then you like have those gigs that are almost better for a solo thing in a sense,
right?
Or maybe, or some places have like a certain night where they have more solo shit or what have you. But
right.
But right on, man. Yeah, I look forward to hearing that. And so I take it the Traveling Broke, that there's nothing going to be out for a little bit, because I knew that one album's pretty recent still. I mean,
2018.
It was like the end of it, sort of, or?
Huh?
Wasn't like the end of 2018?
Yeah, it was like I think it was September or 2018. Cool. But we're trying to figure out, I think, what we're gonna do as far as that's concerned, because we do have a lot of songs that are unrecorded, and so it's just a matter of like which ones we record and how. Also, the last recording experience we had on Vaster Americana, while I think that's a great recording, it was not. It was like one of those albums that like almost, it's like the Chinese Democracy from Guns N' Roses or whatever. Like, it almost killed the band. Like, it was just so.
Oh no! Just There
was just
one thing after another kept happening, or.
Yeah. And it just took forever to get it where we wanted it. It was just like this long draw. So I don't think any of us are like super pumped to get back and recording because of that,
Yeah.
Sure. I kind of like the idea of doing a live album now, like booking a theater for a couple nights and just playing a bunch of songs. record that.
Hell yeah.
So I think maybe it's a good next move for us or something.
Right on. Keep the band alive. Keep doing your own thing.
Yeah.
And you guys are kind of staying more homebody nowadays, a little bit.
Yeah.
Overall, Beer's still like, man, I got to get back out there.
Yeah, I think we all have that itch. Like we did a little European jaunt last year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, how'd that go?
It was great. Yeah, I think we would definitely wanted to go back and do that again.
How? Where all did you play?
We mostly were in the UK, but we had 2 shows in the Netherlands, and then we were playing Muddy Roots Festival in Belgium.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we had a show there too. But it was like the tour was kind of thrown together last minute. It was me I did the booking, and I've never booked a European tour before, so it could have been better. But I think it was great considering, you know what I mean?
Yeah, with trial and error, you live and you learn. And
we learned a lot.
How far in advance did you have to book? Is that like a year, 6 months, or?
No, well, that's the thing is I think a lot of people try to book like at least by 6 months doing that.
It's almost, yeah.
But let's see, we went in May. Was it May? Yeah.
Wait, so did you like get Muddy Roots and then you're like, we got to book around this sort of thing, or?
Kind of. It's actually a much longer story, but but yes, more or less like that. And I'm trying to think. So it was like 5 months or so, or no? It's probably started trying to book like 5 months out, but then I didn't really get aggressive with it until about 2 or 3 months out, because I was like, oh shit,
okay,
we're not getting gigs, and we're like, we got 2 gigs, and so it's enough to like go. And so
you want to at least try to pay for your expenses or something.
Right. So I threw the rest of it together, but it was like super scrambling. And again, we got great gigs and had a lot of fun. And but I think next time we'll do it with more planning and more time and better. So.
And you guys are a 4-piece right now.
Yes.
4-piece right now, which is guitar, bass, washboard, and another guitar.
Yeah, but we also have a drum set that's like out of a suitcase and some toms and stuff.
Okay, cool.
Rachel and I kind of switch off on. So there's a few songs that we have that have drums, and so but not our whole set does, but there's just like a couple.
Just give it that thump, Yeah. Certain parts and whatnot, the kick kind of. Cool. Right on, man. Yeah. Where can we find Traveling Broke Out of Gas? What's your preferred place to find you? Besides your home.
Online.
The sort of blast your social media shit.
Yeah, Bandcamp's probably the best right now. That's where all of our albums are up and going there.
Cool.
It'll have all of our info. And then for my CoyoteBear stuff, I'd point you to my Patreon page.
Oh, no shit.
Patreon.com/CoyoteBear.
Cool.
I've been putting tons and tons and tons of stuff up on there, but I'm trying to work that format as much.
I haven't messed around with that too much. Yeah, I've heard some things or read about it, but it's kind of like it can pay off depending and get enough fan reach, right? Sort of thing.
Wait, what?
Patreon?
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of like you can get like funded through your fans through there, sort of thing, like to release content?
Yeah, it's kind of like digital busking, really.
Yeah.
So it's like a voluntary subscription for your fans and you can totally you can tailor it however you want to suit your needs, because there's all different types of people on there doing different stuff. But so you can have like free content where anybody can see it, but then you have like content that people like. Let's say you have like multiple tiers, right? So like I have a tier where people can pay $1 a month, and then that gives them like a song every month that only they get to hear. And then if I do release it, like they'll have it for a month before anyone else does, like before it's public, right?
Right.
And then I have like a $5 a month tier, and then there's like a $10 a month tier, and so on and so forth.
Hell yeah.
and so yeah, people can just subscribe to kind of just kick you some money so you can keep creating stuff.
That's fucking cool, man. The things you can do in the digital age.
Yeah.
Well, and it's that's kind of like, again, for like super fans too, people who like really, want to hear it all and really get into it, sort of thing. But it's it's almost like the process of figuring out who are those avid people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Avid listeners, I should say. You guys got music videos? Yeah, don't you? Or no?
We don't have any like music videos. We just have a lot of like live performance videos. Rachel did, I guess it is a music video. She did put together, using like just some like found footage from touring and stuff. She put together like a video of her song Strong Liquor, and I'm currently doing something similar. So I don't know if you've listened to Master Americana, but the title track of that album is like 24 minutes long. And
oh, shit.
I'm making a video for that currently, but it's taking me forever because it's 24 minutes long.
So it's like a story and a mini movie sort of thing?
Yeah, kind of. So the video I'm making, it's like there's kind of a narrative with. So I've done some specific shots over the last like 8 or 9 months to like tell a narrative, but then there's like other stuff kind of thrown in there to take up space. But we'll see. It's my first attempt at doing something like that, so we'll see how it turns out.
So you do your own editing and stuff?
Yeah.
Cool. What do you use? Premiere, or what do you use?
No, I'm just using iMovie.
Oh, right on. Yeah, that actually can. Pretty much do what you want, and I think it saves pretty good quality.
Yeah.
Format. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I probably want to do that I can't do on there, but it does enough. Like especially for this, like it's
keeping it simple and
short.
Works.
It's basically a short film at 24 minutes long. So
that's fucking cool, man.
So I would have to, I would be investing so much time if I was really trying to do all the stuff I want to do. But.
So any deadline to when that might come out?
I'm hoping it'll be done in the next few weeks. That's my plan. So
it'll be out by the summer. Damn it.
Yeah, by the summer.
Hopefully, that gives you a good time frame. All right. Well, it's good talking to you, man. I know like I said, I only met you the one time, but now I feel like I know you more. I know the band more. So, thanks for being on the podcast. Thanks for telling your story.
Thanks for having me, man. It's a pleasure.
All right. Well, it's good talking to you, man.
Yeah.
Let's stay in touch. Yeah, I'll let you know. Probably like a month I'll have it like maybe ready, and I'll send you a link or something.
Cool.
Sound good? Good, man. Cool, man. Good talking to you. Peace, brother.
Have a good one.
See ya.
Bye.
All right, guys, that wraps up the 10th episode of Music, the Universal Language Podcast. Thanks for Cody Hall for being on. See you guys next time. Peace.